tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Olúwa dìde bọ́ sí ipò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Àdúrà wa gbàdà, ó ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ó padà gbà ní ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjìrè. Àdúrà wa gbà lórí wípé ariwo tí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ń pariwo látijọ́ yìí, àdúrà yìí kò lọ lásán, ariwo wa ò lọ lásán. Ilẹ̀ lérè tá ń lọ ó ti ń dá wa lójú wípé a ti ń súnmọ́lé sùúrù tẹ́ rí yẹn ó lè sòkúta jìnnà mo ṣe gbà ni. Ẹ wo ohun tẹ́ wò wọlé yẹn, tẹ́ ẹ bá gbọ́ orin yẹn dáadáa ẹ rí pé orin ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni àwọn gómìnà wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni wọ́n kọ lákọ̀ọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀. Eléyìí ó yẹ kó ní ìtumọ̀ gan-an ní ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń wò mí. Orin yìí kì í ṣe wípé orin ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ nìkan àbí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nìkan, ó ní ohun tó ṣe pàtàkì tó kún nínú ayé àwa ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjìrè. Orin yẹn ṣe ti gbọ́ bó ṣe kó wọlé bẹ́ẹ̀, àdúrà mi ni pé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la ṣe máa kọ́ lọ́jọ́ tí àwa ọmọ ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjìrè, àwọn ọmọ aládé tá a bá dé ilẹ̀ lérí wa. Orin yẹn àjọ péjú pésẹ̀ àjọ kọ́ ni gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn gómìnà wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti ṣe kọ́ lánàá tí a dẹ̀ rí pé lótìtọ́ àti lódodo wọn kọ́ ní tòótọ́. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ lọ fọkàn balẹ̀, bàbá Bánjí Akíntóyè wọ́n bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá, ẹ gbọ́ bí wọ́n ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lóní tẹ̀léńtẹ̀lé ẹ̀rí bẹ́ẹ̀ lénìí. Àtúndúpẹ́ o, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa fò fáyọ̀ torí pé mi ti rí pé ẹ̀kọ́ ti fẹ́ ṣojú mímu. Apá àbíkan lórí ètò ìròyìn àátú kọminú nípa ti àwọn nǹkan kan tí ò tí ì ṣe kíni tí ò tí ì bọ́ sójú ẹ̀ dáadáa. Ẹ máa ti máa gbọ́ wípé wọ́n ṣe ohun tó dà, wọ́n fún àwọn àjọ kan, wọ́n fún wọn ní àwọn èròjà ogun èyí tí àwọn kọlọ̀nà sí ẹ̀dá kan tí wọ́n ń wọlé sórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ẹ ti gbọ́ lé àná òde yìí ni wọ́n yọ̀ǹda rẹ̀ fún ẹnìkan tí ó jẹ́ aṣojú fún olùdámọ̀ràn àgbà sí ààrẹ Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò ní Yorùbádùn. Ẹ wá bá mi wo gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí látìgbà tí wọ́n ti kó pamọ́, ibo ni wọ́n gbé gbà tó fi wọ ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjìrè. Ẹ má gbàgbé pé ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ní ibi tí wọ́n ti ṣe àwárí àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí, àwọn àjọ custom aṣọ́bodè àwọn ni wọ́n ṣe àwárí kíní yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ ìwádìí. Wọ́n ní nínú sìmẹ́ǹtì, nínú àpò ráìsì àti àwọn nǹkan mìíràn ni wọ́n fi súnmọ́gbù rẹ̀ wọlé. Lénìí àátún sọ àwọn nǹkan kan tó jẹ́ wípé ó yẹ kí orí wa máa ṣe kíni, kórí wa máa wú, torí wọ́n tuntun fún wa ní àǹfààní láti sọ wípé kí àwa ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ká máa gbé èròjà ogun káàkiri láti fi ṣe ààbò fúnra wa, torí wọ́n sọ pé ọlọ́pàá ò ní ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀tàn àgbà. Wọ́n ti wá fún wa ní àǹfààní báyìí, mo yá ká máa gbé èròjà. Wọ́n ní ọ̀rọ̀ ààbò yìí ó ti di ọ̀rọ̀ ara wa báyìí. Ọdún ní mímì kí ṣàyìn fólókò àfin tèmi ò nílò ìdánimọ̀ lọ́jà, tó bá dọ́jà báyìí wọ́n á mọ̀ pé ó dọ́jà nìyẹn. Èmi tí ń tòótọ́ Samuel Owóyẹmí, fẹ́lẹ́fẹ́lẹ́ láyé lórúkọ mi, fẹ́lẹ́ ní gbogbo èèyàn mọ̀ mí sí. Èmi náà kọ́ Ọlọ́run bọ̀ òkè ló ń fi mi ṣe ní gbogbo ìgbà. Apàtẹ ètò bí ẹni pàtẹ ìlẹ̀kẹ̀, awọkọ̀ ètò bí ẹni wọkọ̀ tírélà, ìyẹn ètò tó bá lọ́gbọ́n lórí ni o. Èmi náà kọ́ Ọlọ́run bọ̀ òkè ló ń fi mi ṣe ní gbogbo ìgbà. Lénìí láì dènà pẹ̀lú láì fi ọ̀pá pọ̀lọpọ̀lọ péjọ. Ẹ rí bí a ṣe forí yẹn wọlé, ẹ rí bí àwọn gómìnà wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ẹ rí bí wọ́n ṣe ṣe kíni, bí wọ́n ṣe kọrin ti ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjìrè, orin orílẹ̀-èdè wa tí à ń wojú, tí à ń fojú sọ́nà fún ti Yorubanation. Tá a bá gbà tó orin yẹn náà là á máa kọ ṣé alórin méjì tá a fẹ́ kàn bẹ̀rẹ̀. Lénìí ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ níbi tí àwọn àjọ aṣọ́bodè custom tí wọ́n ti yọ̀ǹda àwọn èròjà ogun alágbára fún àjọ kan tí yóò máa rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ èròjà ogun yìí, tí ẹni tí ń ṣe olùdámọ̀ràn pàtàkì sí ààrẹ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò ìyẹn ní Yorùbádù tí ó rán wá sí ìlú Èkó láti wá gba àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí. Ẹ rí gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí, àwọn èròjà ogun yìí bí wọ́n ṣe pọ̀ níye dáadáa. Ẹ rí wọn lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti máa fi hàn yín lójú amóhùnmáwòrán yín lénìí. Ìbéèrè mi ni wípé níbo làwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí, ibo ni wọ́n gbà wọlé, ẹ rí bó ṣe pọ̀ dáadáa. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá jẹ́ ká dira ọmọ mọ̀ wípé àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n gba irúfẹ́ nǹkan wọ̀nyí lọ́wọ́ wọn, wọ́n á tútù lọ ṣe kí ni, wọ́n á tútù lọ dira láti sọ wípé àwọn gba ilé yìí lọ́wọ́ wa, àgbọ̀wá tó tẹ̀ àdé mẹ́yìn agbára ló lọ mú wa. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí a rò wípé ó tán síbẹ̀ o. Àwọn èròjà ogun tí ẹ ń rí yìí tí wọ́n gbà wọlé sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, èyí tí wọ́n rí lẹ rí yìí, èyí tí wọ́n rí gbà ní ẹ rí yìí. Àwọn yìí tí wọn ò rí gbà tí wọ́n ti wọ́n gbùdù wọn wọnú ilẹ̀ wa kọ́. Ẹ rí bó ṣe pọ̀ tó. Iṣẹ́ ìwádìí fi yé wa dájúdájú wípé wọ́n ní nínú àpò sìmẹ́ǹtì, ẹ̀rù ìrẹsì àti àwọn kan ní ẹnu ààlà bọ́dà ló jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń gbé wọn gbà wá sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ohun rèé lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan tẹ́ ẹ rí yìí, ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá, ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò kì í ṣe nǹkan tá a lè fi ọwọ́ yẹpẹrẹ mú sà, kì í ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ tí a kò lè gbé ojú kúrò níbẹ̀. Ẹ rí àwọn ọ̀tá ìbọn tí wọ́n bá fún àwọn aráabí yìí láàyè kárí wọn tí wàá rí gbà lóhùn wọn ni ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ kó dání, wọn fi ṣe decoration, wọ́n fẹ́ fi ṣiṣẹ́ láàbí ni. Ó kàn wá dùn mí ní pé ìpínlẹ̀ kan ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ni wọ́n ti ṣe àwárí àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ń fi ọ̀nà ìbùrúkú wọn lé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dúpẹ́ wípé àkàrà wọn tú sépo. Eléyìí ló tún wá máa jẹ́ àròkò fún gbogbo wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wípé èyí tá a rí yìí kì í ṣe kékeré rárá. Àwọn aráabí yìí wọ́n tún lọ another strategy láti rí pé àwọn kò wọlé successfully. Àwa gangan ni ká wá tó òkun ṣòkòtò wa ká tún so dáadáa kí a lè fi yé wọn dájúdájú pé kò sí ọ̀nà kọ́nà tí wọ́n lè fẹ́ gbé gbà. A máa ṣe kí ni, a máa rí ọwọ́ tó wọn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bá wọn débẹ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lánàá níbi tí wọ́n ti ń yọ̀ǹda àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan fún àwọn èèyàn tí ó yẹ fún láti yọ̀ǹda rẹ̀ fún. Ẹ gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu àwọn ọ̀gá àgbà àjọ aṣọ́bodè custom bí wọ́n ṣe ṣàwárí àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire, ẹ jẹ́ ká dira o. Àdúrà wa ti ń gbà ní tòótọ́ wípé àṣírí wọn tú lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ará abíyí náà àwọn òsùn wọn ń wá ọ̀nà mìíràn láti wọlé sí wa lára o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká bá wọn dé ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, ẹ wò.
The venue, the Customs Federal Operations Unit Zone A office in the Ikeja area of Lagos State. The event attracts top echelon of the nation's security agencies.
He is now the Director General, National Center for Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons.
They are here for the official handover of arms and ammunition seized in May 2018 at the Tinkan Island Port Command of the service.
Through established diplomatic channels, we partnered with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to engage the authorities in Turkey, leading to definitive identification of the purchasing company. The investigation trail, which was supported by financial records obtained through court orders in Nigeria, enabled us to establish the identities of those behind these illegal arms shipments. And through our strategic interagency cooperations, particularly with the assistance of the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, we successfully prosecuted the case before the Federal High Court in Lagos, Amankwa. All of them were convicted on 8-count charges bordering on improper importation.
Commending the collaborative efforts between the Office of the National Security Advisor and all arms-bearing agencies, the representative of the NSA and Director General of the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, Johnson Kokumo, reiterates government's commitment to preventing the circulation of illicit arms and the conviction of illegal arms importers and their allies.
The principal suspects who brought in 844 assaulted rifles into One, Port Harcourt, those who also brought in weapons through the international airport at Ikeja here in Lagos, who were equally intercepted by the customs service, we were handed over to the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons. Investigations were conducted. Suspects arrested, they are equally processed through the court. And their criminal partners in Turkey are equally in the net over there because we did this in collaboration with Interpol.
The seized items are then officially handed over. The customs boss adds that while the court has convicted those involved in the case of the first container, the case file of the second container has been handed over alongside the seized weapons.
As security agencies strategize and intensify their efforts, there is hope that more illegal weapons will be intercepted before they can pose a threat to national security. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
A US and European stock.
Ṣé ti gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu àwọn ọ̀gá ní ẹ̀ka àjọ aṣọ́bodè custom orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Àbábọ̀ wọn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn èròjà ogun èyí tí wọ́n ṣe kíni tí wọ́n rí gbà padà lọ́wọ́ àwọn ìkọlọ̀ràn sí ẹ̀dá tí wọ́n fẹ́ fi máa ṣiṣẹ́ láabi ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àti káàkiri orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ẹ̀ ti gbọ́ àwọn yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé wọ́n rí ọwọ́ tó mọ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ rí àwọn nǹkan rí túntún ní. Ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ tó rí wípé wọ́n sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀nà bí wọ́n ṣe rí gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn arábí wọ́n sọ fún wa. Àmọ̀ràn mi wá rèé wípé ká má jẹ́ kó tán síbẹ̀ o, ká tún jẹ́ kí ètò ààbò kó gbọ́n kan ní àwọn ẹnu ààlà bọ́dà wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ọ̀nàkọ́nà tí wọ́n bá lè gbígbà ẹ jẹ́ ká gbìyànjú ẹ̀. Ìròyìn tí ó ń tẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ńlá yàjóyàjó báyìí ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire àpò ọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn o. Ǹjẹ́ jẹ́ mọ̀ wípé pa Ayọ̀délé Adébanjọ tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọ̀kan gbòógì nínú ẹgbẹ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re bàbá yìí wọ́n ti jáde kúrò láyé lónìí lẹ́ni ọdún mẹ́rìndínlọ́gọ́rùn-ún 96 years ni bàbá yìí lò lókè erùpẹ̀. Wọ́n ní àárọ̀ òní ni bàbá Adébanjọ ni wọ́n kúrò lókè erùpẹ̀ ní ilé wọn tó wà ní Lẹ́kì ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí wọn dẹ̀ fi ikú bàbá yìí wọ́n fi ìdí rẹ̀ múlẹ̀ nínú àtẹ̀jáde èyí tí wọ́n fi léde fún àwọn oníròyìn lọ́jọ́ Ẹtì Friday òní. Wọ́n ní pẹ̀lú ẹ̀rù jẹjẹ ọkàn pẹ̀lú ìbànújẹ́ ọkàn ni àwọn fi kéde rẹ̀ wípé bàbá tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan gbòógì nínú ẹgbẹ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re Olóyè Samuel Ayọ̀délé Adébanjọ ti kúrò lókè erùpẹ̀ o. Wọ́n ní àwọn dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún ìgbé ayé tó ní ìtumọ̀ tí bàbá náà lò nígbà tó wà lókè erùpẹ̀. Wọ́n ní he died peacefully this morning, Friday, February 14, 2025, at his Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria home at age of 96. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti ṣe fi sínú àtẹ̀jáde tí wọ́n fi léde fún àwọn oníròyìn lónìí. Wọ́n sọ ní mímọ̀ wípé gbogbo bí ètò ìsìnkú bàbá yìí yóò ṣe lọ àwọn yóò máa kéde rẹ̀ láìpẹ́. kódà wọ́n ti ṣí ìwé tí àwọn èèyàn yóò máa bu ọwọ́ lù tí wọ́n bá wá ṣe àbẹ̀wò ìbánikẹ́dùn sí àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí wọn ní ìlú Èkó. ẹ wò ó, àwọn ọmọ ìyàwó àti àwọn ọmọ ni wọ́n gbẹ̀mí bàbá yìí. ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire, ìròyìn yìí bà mí lọ́kàn jẹ́ púpọ̀, kò tún bà mí lọ́kàn jẹ́ púpọ̀. eléyìí kì í ṣe òkú ọ̀fọ̀, òkú ẹ̀kọ, òkú àmàlà leléyìí, ṣùgbọ́n igi ńlá ló wó nínú igbó yìí, erin ló wó ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. bàbá yìí dàgbà ní tòótọ́, ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ohun tí wọ́n ti ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ńkọ́. tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹgbẹ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re tí àwọn èèyàn kan mọ̀ mọ́ wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, bàbá yìí wọn ò lè fi ọwọ́ rọ́ wọn dànù sẹ́yìn. ó wá jẹ́ wípé lẹ́nìí tí í ṣe ọjọ́ Ẹtì Friday ni bàbá olóyè Ayọ̀délé Samuel Adebanjo ni wọ́n jáde kúrò láyé. màá máa mú wá fún yín lọ́lọ́kọ̀ òjọ̀kan ìròyìn yàjóyàjó bó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ lónìí tí àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí wọn fi léde fún wa, lèmi náà ní kí n mú wá sí etí ìgbọ̀nyín. wípé bàbá Adébanjọ, olóyè Samuel Ayọ̀délé bàbá Adébanjọ, wọ́n ti jáde kúrò láyé. gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa fi ọ̀rọ̀ ìbánikẹ́dùn wa, ọ̀rọ̀ ìdágbére tá a lè fi ránṣẹ́ sí àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí wa, fún àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí wọn yìí, ẹ máa fi ránṣẹ́ sábẹ́ comment section wa. eléyìí tútù ṣẹlẹ̀ o, àwa tá a kù lókè ìrùpẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká gbélé ayé ṣe rere, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe ohun tí àwọn èèyàn yóò fi máa sọ dáadáa nípa tiwa tá a bá sí lókè ìrùpẹ̀ mọ́. bàbá Banjo Adébanjọ, wọ́n ti dé bus stop tiwọn, wọ́n ti fi wálẹ̀. àwa tá a kù lókè ìrùpẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ ohun tí à ń ṣe kí wọ́n lè sọ dáadáa nípa tiwa. ẹ jẹ́ n kúrò níbẹ̀ kí n tẹ̀síwájú, ẹ̀yin ọmọ aládé. èyí tó wá kàn lásìkò yìí tí mo ní kí n tún mẹ́nu bà, mo sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan nígbà tí mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò wípé wọ́n ti ń fún wa láǹfààní gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá láti máa gbé èròjà ogun káàkiri. gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti ṣe sọ di mímọ̀ wípé àwọn ọmọ ológun, àwọn ọlọ́pàá, àwọn àjọ elétò ààbò wọn ò lè wà ní gbogbo ibìkan lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò. ló wá mú kí ẹni tí ń ṣe ọ̀gá àgbà fún àjọ ikọ̀ ọ̀tẹlẹ̀múyẹ́ DSS ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tí orúkọ wọn á máa jẹ́ Olúwatósìn Àjàyí, wọ́n ti wá pè fún àgbékiri ìrónilágbára èròjà ogun fún àwọn ìlú lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan tó fi mọ́ àwọn ìlú ní ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire. nígbà ẹ wò ó, ẹ jẹ́ ká fún wọn láàyè láti máa gbé èròjà ogun káàkiri o, láti máa ṣe ààbò fún ara wọn. ẹ rí i pé ìròyìn tó nítumọ̀ lélẹ́yìí. ẹ mọ̀ pé nígbà kan ìjọba ló ń ká àwọn èèyàn wa lọ́wọ́ kò nílẹ̀ Yorùbá, kì í ṣe pé àmọ́ nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe fún àwọn ará bí yìí, àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí, àwọn Fúlàní wọ̀nyí gangan, kì í ṣe pé àwọn ọgbọ́n tá a fẹ́ dá fún wọn o. olóyè Sunday Ìgbòho nígbà tí wọ́n jáde nígbà náà, kì í ṣe pé wọn ò mọ nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe fún àwọn Fúlàní yìí o. fìrìfìrí ohun tí wọ́n ṣe fún wọn ló jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe kíni, kí wọ́n júbà ehoro, kí wọ́n sá kúrò ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó fi fọn díẹ̀ o. ìgbà tí gbogbo ẹ̀ wá dá pápá ó báyìí, wọ́n tún wá fẹ́ máa rọ́pò padà. mo fẹ́ jẹ́ ká rí ohun tó ní ìtumọ̀ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tí Olúwatósìn Àjàyí, adarí gbogbogbò fún ikọ̀ ọ̀tẹlẹ̀múyẹ́ DSS èyí tí wọ́n sọ yìí. nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wọn tí wọ́n sọ ní àná òde yìí níbi ìpàdé kan tó jẹ́ ti àwọn elétò ààbò ní ìlú Àbújá, ni wọ́n ti sọ dímọ̀ wípé àwọn ọmọ ológun, àwọn ọlọ́pàá, ikọ̀ ọ̀tẹlẹ̀múyẹ́ DSS wọn ò lè máa ṣe kíni, ṣe ààbò lórí àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà gbogbogbò lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo. kò lè work, it is not going to work gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti sọ. eléyìí ni wọ́n fi wá sọ di mímọ̀ wípé ẹ jẹ́ ká fún àwọn onílùú, ẹ jẹ́ ká fún àwọn ìlú lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan, ẹ jẹ́ ká fún wọn láàyè láti ṣe ààbò fún ara wa. ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire ẹ sọ pé eléyìí á tún rú wa lágbára. èmi mọ̀ wípé tí àwọn ará ìlú Ìbèṣè, àwọn ará ìlú kan ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ tí àwọn Fúlàní ń ṣe bó ṣe wù wọ́n, tí wọ́n ń ba èrè oko wọn jẹ́, mo mọ̀ pé tó bá gbọ́rú eléyìí inú wọn á dùn pé yes, kò sí ohun tó ń kà wọ́n lọ́wọ́ kò wọ́n kí wọ́n tẹ̀ fún wọn délẹ̀, àwọn á mọ ohun táwọn yóò ṣe fún àwọn ará bí yìí. òun náà ni ọmọ Yorùbá kan, Olúwatósìn Àjàyí, tó wà ní ipò àgbà ló ti ń bá wa fi ọgbọ́n sọ ọ́ di mímọ̀ fún ìjọba wípé ẹ jẹ́ káwọn ìlú yìí, ẹ jẹ́ káwọn náà fi àyè gbára wọn láti máa gbé èròjà ogun kiri. ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò kì í ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn kan mọ́. mo lérò pé ẹ̀ ń di ohun tí mò ń sọ yìí. ó sọ débi wípé a nílò láti fún àwọn ìlú yìí lọ́lọ́kan-ò-jọ̀kan kí àwọn náà lè ní òmìnira tiwọn láti kojú àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí tí wọ́n lè máa fẹ́ máa ba àwọn nǹkan jẹ́ láàárín ìlú, tí wọ́n lè fẹ́ máa dẹ̀mí àwọn èèyàn légbodò. wọ́n ní ká fún wọn láàyè gẹ́gẹ́ bí Olúwatósìn Àjàyí ti ṣe sọ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ní àná òde yìí. ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire ẹ jẹ́ ká di ọ̀rọ̀ yìí mú o. ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ṣe ohun tó dàbí àtẹ̀gùn lọ sí orílẹ̀-èdè ilẹ̀ ìlérí wa tá à ń lọ yẹn. torí ẹ̀ mo ṣe sọ nígbà tá a kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò yìí wípé ẹ̀kọ́ tí ń ṣojú mímu, ibi tí à ń lọ gangan ó ti ń ṣe bí ẹni ṣe kí ni, ó ti ń hàn dáadáa. ṣebí tàwọn gómìnà wa la sọ yìí wípé wọ́n ń kọrin ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, wọ́n ń kọ níbi ìpàdé wọn. torí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe ìpàdé, orin náà la máa kọ nígbà tá a bá débẹ̀, àbí orin wo míì ṣáfẹ́ compose orin mi ni. as far as I'm concerned right now, orin tá a máa kọ nìyẹn nígbà tá a bá débẹ̀. ẹ gbọ́ bí àwọn gómìnà yẹn ti ṣe sọ. wọ́n dẹ̀ tún rọ̀ yìí wípé àwọn àjọ elétò ààbò tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun, ẹ̀ṣọ́ aṣọ́bodè tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun láti rí ọwọ́ tó àwọn èròjà ogun tí àwọn aráabí yìí kó wọlé, ẹ jẹ́ ká dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ wọn o nílẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire. tí ò bá sí ti etí ni bí àpólà igi ni orí ò bá rí. ẹ jẹ́ ká gbóríyìn fún ọ. èmi kàn máa sọ di mímọ̀ wípé ká má jẹ́ kí ó mọ níbẹ̀, ká tún òkun ṣòkòtò wa lè. ẹ tún wá gbọ́ yìí tí ọmọ Yorùbá yìí tún sọ o, tó ní wípé ẹ jẹ́ ká fún àwọn ìlú lọ́lọ́kan-ò-jọ̀kan ní àǹfààní láti máa gbé èròjà ogun káàkiri kí àwọn náà lè máa ṣe ààbò fúnra wọn. gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ní ìjọba, gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ lọ́lọ́pàá, gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ ní àwọn ọmọ ológun. ìròyìn ayọ̀ lélẹ́yìí, ó ti ń fún wa ní àǹfààní láti ṣe àmójútó ara wa. Yorùbá bọ̀ ní ẹnu ara ẹni la fi ń kọ méje, ìwà ọwọ́ ara ẹni la fi ń túwà ara ẹni ṣe. ẹ jẹ́ ká lo àǹfààní ohun tí wọ́n sọ yìí láti fi gba òmìnira lọ́wọ́ àwọn ará bí yìí tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa domi àlàáfíà ìlú ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ ká kúrò níbẹ̀ nítorí ẹni pé gbogbo ẹ̀ ó ń lọ ní sẹ̀sẹ̀ntẹ̀lé. ẹni bó ṣe ń lọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò bó ṣe ń tẹ̀léra wọn, ẹni pé ó ti ń jọra wọn bọ̀ látòrí àwọn gómìnà. ẹ jẹ́ ká wá lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn gómìnà wa gangan. kí ni àwọn tí wọ́n ṣe níbi ìpàdé wọn lánàá tó wáyé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó? eléyìí ni wọ́n fi sọ wípé ìpàdé náà ó so èso rere, ìròyìn ayọ̀ ló bá dé. wọ́n ṣe ìpàdé yẹn, ó dùn mọ́ mi nínú wípé at least a sì ní hope wípé a máa dé ilẹ̀ ìlérí wa. a sì ní ẹ̀rí àrídájú, a sì ní ìdánilójú pé ilẹ̀ ìlérí tá à ń lọ yìí a ó débẹ̀ láyọ̀ àti àlàáfíà, láì ṣe kíni, láì fi ẹsẹ̀ kan. àwọn ohun tó yẹ ká mójútó lójú ọ̀nà ìrìn àjò yìí, òun la ti mójútó láti ìsìn yìí lọ báyìí. a ti sọ pé kọ́ bá wa mójútó ìwà àjẹbánu tó tún fẹ́ dàbí ohun tó máa mú wa wọnú ibìkan ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. ìyẹn à máa mójútó. ẹ jẹ́ ká wá mójútó ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn Fúlàní yìí, àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa domi àlàáfíà lúrú ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ẹ rí pé ariwo tá à ń pa látijọ́ yìí, ikú àwọn èèyàn wa kò lọ lásán. Ohun tí àwọn gómìnà yìí ń jíròrò níbi ìpàdé wọn lánàá òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ ebi tí ò jẹ́ kí àwọn àgbẹ̀ lọ sí oko láti lọ ṣe ohun tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe nípa ti iṣẹ́ oko, tí ó fi wá di wípé oúnjẹ ó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ń gbé owó lérí, kò sí ẹni tó fẹ́ lọ sí oko mọ́. Àwọn gómìnà wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n jíròrò lé lórí lánàá, wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ọ̀nà àbáyọ kan lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò. Màá máa yànnàná ẹ̀ fún yín lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan kí n tó mú ojú yín bá ohun tí wọ́n jọ jíròrò lé lórí níbi ìpàdé náà. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí fọ́nrán tẹ́ ò máa rí dáadáa, ẹ̀rí wà fún ohun tí wọ́n sọ níbẹ̀ lánàá. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ yànnàná ẹ̀ fún yín dáadáa kí kẹ́ lè mọ ibi tí à ń lọ gangan ní ilẹ̀ Káàárọ̀ Oòjíire. Àwọn gómìnà yìí wọ́n ṣe ìpàdé náà ní àná gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti ṣe kọrin orin ilẹ̀ wa, ilẹ̀ Oòduà, gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti ṣe kọ. Wọ́n ní àwa gangan ní ògo ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, àwa ní ìmọ́lẹ̀. So many things attached to that song. Ọ̀rọ̀ kún nínú orin yẹn, kì í ṣe orin lásán. Wọ́n ṣe ìpàdé náà gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe é. Wọ́n jíròrò lórí àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn Fúlàní, ISWAP, Boko Haram tí wọ́n ń wọlé Yorùbá, tí wọ́n tún fẹ́ máa ṣe ohun tí ó dàbí iṣẹ́ láabi. Wọ́n jíròrò lé lórí. Nígbà tí mo gbọ́ tí ẹnìkan sọ ní èní wípé àwọn gómìnà wa ti jí o, mo á bí wọ́n lè rẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, wọ́n ní ṣé wọ́n sùn ni? Wọ́n ò sùn. Àwọn náà mọ ohun tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, torí wọ́n mọ̀ pé ohun tó bá ti dé bó orí ó ti dé bá gbogbo ara nìyẹn. Ẹ wá wo níbi ìpàdé tí wọ́n ṣe lánàá, wọ́n jíròrò wípé ọ̀nà wo la fẹ́ fi gbégi dínà àwọn Fúlàní, ọ̀nà wo la fẹ́ fi gbégi dínà àwọn agbésùmọ̀mí, ọ̀nà wo la fẹ́ fi gbégi dínà àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n lè fẹ́ máa domi àlàáfíà lóru nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ló kọ́kọ́ mú sọ kó tó di wípé wọ́n mú ẹnu lé ọ̀rọ̀ oúnjẹ àti àwọn nǹkan mìíràn tó lè mú ìdàgbàsókè bá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò yẹn, wọ́n wá ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ìgbìmọ̀ kan, ẹgbẹ́ ti sọ pé àjọ ètò ààbò kan, èyí tí wọ́n pè ní Joint Surveillance Team. Mo fẹ́ wà ṣúọ̀ dáadáa ni kí n lè mú wá fún yín gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti ṣe sọ di mímọ̀. Wọ́n ní ikọ̀ yìí ni wọ́n yóò máa ṣe kíni, ni wọ́n yóò máa rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ ààbò, ìgbìyànjú wọn yóò máa bá wọn ṣe ọdẹ rẹ̀, wọ́n á máa bá wọn mójútó. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti ṣe wá sọ di mímọ̀ pé ẹ wò ó, ìgbìmọ̀ tá a ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ yìí òun ni láti ṣe kíni, láti gbógun ti ìwà àwọn Fúlàní agbésùmọ̀mí àti àwọn ìwà ọ̀daràn mìíràn èyí tí ó lè máa wọ́pọ̀ níbo ní ilẹ̀ Káàárọ̀ Oòjíire. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe túnbọ̀ fún àwọn gómìnà wa lápá àbẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ wípé wọ́n ti ń mọ bó ṣe rí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ ọ́ di mímọ̀ wípé àwọn náà wọ́n ti ń fìlì plight wa, wọ́n ti ń wò wípé ìlú tá a jẹ́ gómìnà lé lórí, ìpínlẹ̀ tá a jẹ́ gómìnà lórí, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá náà ní tá a bá bá wọn túnṣe, tá a bá tún ilé wa ṣe aráàta ló fẹ́ bá wa túnṣe ni. Ní ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí lórí gbogbo ètò tá a ti ń ṣe, mò ń rí àwọn àtẹ̀ránṣẹ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fi ránṣẹ́ wípé kí làwọn ìjọba, kí làwọn gómìnà wa, kí ni wọ́n ń ṣe, kí làwọn ọba kábíyèsí wa ń ṣe. Lára ìgbésẹ̀ yẹn òun rèé o, ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan là ń yọ ẹsẹ̀ lẹ́kù. Mo sọ di mọ̀ fún yín àwọn gómìnà wa, àwọn náà wọ́n jí gìrì mọ́ ká fún yín lórí ètò yìí náà ni. Níbi tí àwọn gómìnà, àwọn ọba aládé tí wọ́n náà ti sọ gbogbo ìgbésẹ̀ tí wọ́n fẹ́ gbé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ètò ààbò. Ẹ wá rí pé rẹ́gí ti ṣe rẹ́gí báyìí, àwọn gómìnà wa náà wọ́n ti fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ wípé ètò ààbò yìí o ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá a gbọ́dọ̀ mú lókùnkúndùn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wò ó bí wọ́n ṣe sọ sí lánàá, tí a bá dé màá wá tún yànnàná ohun tó tún dìrò mọ́ ìpàdé yìí. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Káàárọ̀ Oòjíire, ẹ jẹ́ ká kíra wa kú oríire lápá àbìkan, torí pé bá a ṣe fẹ́ kó rí ó ti ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀ lásìkò yìí. Ẹ wo ohun tí wọ́n bá bọ̀ níbi ìpàdé náà.
One by one, the governors, 6 of them, including their host, drove into the Lagos House in Ikeja at about midday for crucial deliberations on issues affecting the southwest region and Nigeria. Straight, they moved into the meeting room for the task of the day behind closed doors. They emerged after well over 4 hours of discussions to brief journalists on the outcome. And as expected, the growing security concern in the region, which is fueled by the arrest of 10 suspected members of the Boko Haram ISWAP terror group in Ilesha, Osun State in December 2024, was top on their agenda.
The forum agreed to appoint our special advisors on security in each state and to establish a joint surveillance monitoring team, which we believe will oversee and coordinate security efforts across the region. And as part of the resolution, the forum has committed to deploying advanced technology, including aerial surveillance systems that will enhance security operations. Additionally, the forum resolved to strengthen intelligence gathering by fostering a collaboration between our state security operatives, local security network, and of course the federal enforcement authorities.
The governors commended the president and the federal government for efforts to stabilize the country's economy and also on the establishment of the Southwest Development Commission, which they have decided will have its headquarters in Ibadan, Oyo State. On food security, they hinted on their plans to work together while also encouraging individual state efforts to feed more people in the zone.
The forum, recognizing the need for food security, we encourage what we see as an ongoing collaborative effort among our Southwest states and implementing measures which is aimed at reducing and curbing inflation in the entire region. We believe also at the forum discussion will express concern with activities of unscrupulous middlemen who deliberately inflate food prices and commodities within the region. We therefore took a view and agreed to establish what we call a food inflation joint monitoring team, which we believe will foster interstate collaboration and it will mitigate food inflation. We also went further to jointly set individually logistics hub, as a means of ensuring, food security, food adequacy in each state, but also working collaboratively as a region together.
Before ending the session, the governors called on the development agenda for Western Nigeria or the Dawn Commission to continue working diligently with Southwest Commissioners for Agriculture on industrialization and infrastructural development across the region, while also commending the Commission for its improved performance in the past 12 months. Tokunbo Oyetunji, Arise News, Lagos.
Ṣé ti rí bó ṣe lọ sí ní àná òde yìí nígbà tí àwọn gómìnà wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ kankan ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí wọ́n ṣe ìpàdé pọ̀. Ẹ gbọ́ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wọn wípé wọ́n tún jíròrò lórí bí ètò ààbò lórí oúnjẹ àti bí oúnjẹ ṣe máa wọ́pọ̀ lọ́pọ̀ yanturu ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n wá ní àwọn máa ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ food hub kan láàrin ìpínlẹ̀ sí ìpínlẹ̀ tí yóò máa dí àlàfo bí oúnjẹ ṣe gbé owó lérí. Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ló yẹ kí a máa rí ohun tí ó ní ìtumọ̀ nípa àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí nípasẹ̀ ohun tí wọ́n ṣe yìí wípé lótìtọ́ àti lódodo ilẹ̀ ìlérí tí à ń lọ yìí ìrọ̀rùn ló máa bá dé fún wa. Inú mi dùn lánàá nígbà tí èmi náà gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tí bàbá Banji Akíntóyè tí wọ́n sọ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wọn wípé àkú àforítì ó dìgbà díẹ̀ ló kù. Òun náà ló tún wá ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí bàbá Banji Akíntóyè gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n ti ṣe sọ di mímọ̀ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ ohun tá a fi wọ̀nyí lánàá yẹn. òun náà ni mo tún wá ní kí àwa ọmọ aládé ká tún wá wò ibi tí àwọn gómìnà wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ kankan, ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun, Èkìtì, Oǹdó, Èkó àti ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, gbogbo àwọn gómìnà yẹn ni wọ́n péjú pésẹ̀ sí ibi ìpàdé náà lánàá. Ẹ sì rí bó ṣe lọ. Eléyìí ó jẹ́ ká máa sọ di mímọ̀ wípé ariwo wa ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kò lọ lásán. Àwa náà àti ṣetán láti finá mọ́ gbogbo àwọn agbésùnmọ̀mí kọ́lọ́run tí ẹ̀dá yìí tí wọ́n lè fẹ́ máa domi àlàáfíà ìlú rú. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjìrè, ẹ wá jẹ́ ká fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn gómìnà yìí. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá mọ̀ wípé ẹ lè fi ọwọ́ sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn, mo mọ̀ pé igi kan ò lè dágbó ṣe. Ẹ ti di bí mo ti ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ orin ilẹ̀ ìkáàárọ̀ òjìrè, orin orílẹ̀-èdè wa tí a máa kọ tá a bá débẹ̀ làwọn gómìnà fi wọlé. Àpẹẹrẹ rere ni eléyìí jẹ́ fún wa. Àwọn àjọ aṣọ́bodè, ẹ rí ohun tí wọ́n ṣe nípa ti bí wọ́n ṣe rí àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ń gbìyànjú láti kó èròjà ogun wọlé Yorùbá. Ẹ rí bí wọ́n ṣe ṣe àmójútó, bí wọ́n ṣe rí gbà mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́. Tí wọ́n bá rí gbà mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́, ṣáà mọ iṣẹ́ láabi tí wọ́n fẹ́ fi wá ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ni. Wọ́n sọ pé ní ìrẹsì nínú àwọn ó ní wọ́n fi ń smọ́gùlẹ̀ wọ ọ̀dọ̀ wa níbí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sókun ṣòkòtò wa lé. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjìrè, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká enlighten àwọn ará wa nílé lóko lẹ́yìn òde wípé tí wọ́n bá ti sí something kí wọ́n say something. A tún wá dúpẹ́ pé adarí gbogbogbò fún àjọ ikọ̀ ọ̀tẹlẹ̀múyẹ́ DSS Olúwatósìn Àjàyí tí mo mọ̀ wípé ó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá, òun náà tún gbẹnu wa sọ̀rọ̀ wípé kí wọ́n fún àwọn ìlú láàyè láti máa gbé èròjà ogun káàkiri kí wọ́n lè dáàbò bo ara wọn lọ́wọ́ àwọn ará bíyì tí wọ́n lè fẹ́ máa ṣẹ̀mí wọn légbodò. Ẹ rí i pé Ọlọ́run ti ń bá wa yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ wa lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan díẹ̀díẹ̀. Nǹkan kan ló ṣàmá mú kẹ́ni yìí gbóhùn síta wípé ẹ fún wọn láàyè. Èyí tí àwọn aráabí yìí pa àwọn èèyàn yìí tó, àwọn ìlú tí wọ́n bá ń kojú irúfẹ́ ìṣòro ìkọlù àwọn agbésùnmọ̀mí Fúlàní lásìkò yìí, inú wọn á máa dùn sí ọ̀rọ̀ tí arákùnrin yìí sọ. Kò wá tọ́ síbẹ̀ o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe ohun tó yẹ kí a ṣe. Ẹ rí báwọn gómìnà yìí ṣe ṣe. Ẹ jẹ́ káwọn náà gbìyànjú ká ṣe tiwa, kọ́lọ́run lè mọ̀ wípé a ṣe tiwa ní ojú ọ̀nà àti dé ilẹ̀ lérí wa. Ohun ìbànújẹ́ ni fún wa tó bá di wípé a dé ilẹ̀ lérí, àwọn ohun tó yẹ ká mójútó àmójútó láti ìsìn yìí lọ. Ó máa dùn wá púpọ̀, torí ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe ń rọ̀ wá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rí gbogbo ohun tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí positive thing ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lójú ọ̀nà bíi tá à ń lọ. Lẹ́nìí la gbọ́ ìròyìn tó bà wá jẹ́ púpọ̀, tó bà wá nínú jẹ́ ní pé olóyè Samuel Ayọ̀délé Adebanjo, ọ̀kan gbòógì nínú ẹgbẹ́ Afẹ́nifẹ́re, ẹgbẹ́ kan ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, bàbá náà ti jáde kúrò láyé ní ilé wọn tó wà ní Lẹ́kí ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Lẹ́ni ọdún mẹ́rìndínlọ́gọ́rùn-ún 96 years ni bàbá lò lókè erùpẹ̀ kí wọ́n tó fi ayé sílẹ̀. Àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí wọn ló fi tó àwọn oníròyìn létí wípé bàbá ti jáde kúrò láyé lónìí, ibi tí àwọn nǹkan ti ń ṣe àyájọ́ àwọn olólùfẹ́ Valentine's Day. Ní àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí bàbá Adébanjọ ti wà nínú ìbànújẹ́ wípé grandpa, bàbá wa, èèyàn wa, ọkọ wa, ọ̀rẹ́ wa, wọ́n ti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, wọ́n ti gbẹ́mìí mì. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjìrè, èyí tẹ́ bá lè fi ránṣẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀rọ̀ ìbánikẹ́dùn ẹ fi ránṣẹ́ sábẹ́ comment section wa o. Torí tá bá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, take it or leave it, bàbá yìí ó jẹ́ ọ̀kan gbòógì náà nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n ti jáde kúrò láyé o. Lẹ́nìí ti ṣọjọ́ Ẹtì Friday ọjọ́ 14 oṣù kejì ọdún 2025 lẹ́ni ọdún 96. Fọ́nrán yìí tí ẹ fẹ́ wò yìí láàfi sọ ní bàbá yìí láti fi bu ọlá fún wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹnìkan tí èdè dáńtọ́ lẹ́nu wọn nígbà tí a wà lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà. Mi ò lè gbàgbé bàbá yìí jẹ́ akíkanjú ẹ̀dá. Lára ètò ìfọ̀rọ̀wérọ̀ tí bàbá ṣe kí wọ́n tó kúrò lókè erùpẹ̀, òun la fi káàdì rẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ lénìí tẹ́yìn náà ń láǹfààní láti wò ó, láti gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tí bàbá yìí máa ń sọ wípé òtítọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ni bàbá Adébánjọ máa ń sọ. Ọdún ní mímì kì í ṣe àìmọ̀polówó àfi tèmi ò nílò ìdánimọ̀ lọ́jà, tó bá dọ́jà báyìí wọ́n á mọ̀ kó dọ́jà ní. Ẹni tí yín tòótọ́ Samuel Owóyẹmí, fẹ́lẹ́fẹ́lẹ́ láyé lórúkọ mi, fẹ́lẹ́ ní gbogbo èèyàn mọ̀ mí sí. Èmi náà kọ́ ọlọ́mọba òkè ló fún mi ṣe ní gbogbo ìgbà. Ire o, ire kàbìtì.
The result of that is the result of the betrayal. You should ask about Oshoba and all of them. They made an agreement with Obasanjo behind us to despise the leaders of the Afenifere who have been claiming that we are responsible for the election. And they want to say that they can win an election without us. So they made this alliance behind us with Obasanjo. And after Obasanjo tricked them out. They got the result of treachery. They were thinking the man will keep to his word and they will claim to have won an election without the support of the leaders of Afenifere. That was what took them into that disaster. So it's a business between them and Obasanjo, not between the leaders of Afenifere. It was an act of betrayal. And they thought that they could get rid of the leaders of Afenifere and they can claim to have won the election on their own. And I rather not give them. That was why after the election, Oshoba was interviewed and he said, "Oh, Obasanjo dale, Obasanjo dale." And I asked them, go and ask, how does he dale? That is, he betrayed an agreement. What does he mean by betraying an agreement? What agreement did you make with him? So it is an act of betrayal that they just try anyway to be in power at the expense of philosophy, at the expense of principle, at the expense of the truth, at the expense of the interests of the Yoruba people. And they are getting the result. Even the alliance which they say that they are having with him now, which is causing trouble. How can you imagine somebody who is a product of outlaw philosophy having an alliance with a party like that of Buhari? And I described them at that time that they're a collection of incompatibles. So presidential has no business with them at all. It is Oshoba and others who are the party with the Obasanjo. I don't know about it. It is what they did with him that they now say, well, he has disappointed them. It is their business.
Okay, sir. Just as a follow-up, sir, to this question. Now, you said they betrayed Afenifere. They thought they could win election without Afenifere, made a pact with President Obasanjo, and of course, it backfired on them. Now, they later proved that they can win election.
Yeah, exactly, that's exactly what happened.
Okay, but they later proved that they can win election without Afenifere, because what followed later was that Bola Ahmed Tinubu led others to form ACN, Action Congress of Nigeria, and they did win election in the Southwest without the support of Afenifere.
Yeah. I don't want to come into that trouble now. They know how they won. It wasn't a free and fair election. Obasanjo tricked them into how he could send them out of office. But because they are not in conformity, in loyalty to the leadership, they didn't follow our own footsteps. They were following their own. But Tinubu was smart. He saw them, but Oshoba was thinking that, oh, he could get on with them. Well, it's a question I don't want to be involved with their own controversy now because I have my own view about the whole thing. Obasanjo didn't do well, But Adebanjo didn't do well, but they sold themselves to him. And they reaped the result of disloyalty to the party. That's my conclusion. How he won the election over the rest is now, we know all that. As time goes on, we shall find out. Not where in the controversy where I am involved. I will clear myself first, and then they will be discussing their political affair.
Okay, sir. So, let me say specifically what was said about you, Chief Olufalaye. It was said that, why was it that it was only you, Chief Olufalaye and Chief Ajayi, old men that could go speak for the lot of the Yorubas at the confab? Why is it that it was you, old men? I mean, that was what specifically that was said about you in the book. And still based on the book.
My dear, that was what Akode will say with his irresponsible mouth. Are we the oldest at that meeting? Was Pat Cam was not there? In the same time, let me make this clear. Jonathan chose and asked people to come under several categories. I and Falaye, I remember, were chosen by Jonathan as an elder statesman. Go and look into the record. But because they were spiteful of the convention, they didn't know about the details. They want to confuse everybody at that time. On the convention or the conference, which we have been agitating for, to reform the country, to restructure the country to federalism, which they have jumped to. But because they have this false claim that they want to be president by aligning with Buhari, they couldn't say anything straight. When they announced the conference, it was Tinubu said, no, it was a diversion. A diversion for a conference we have been shouting about since we came in, that there must be a national conference for us to change the constitution to federalism as against the fraudulent one imposed on us. But because they had a party with this, I said, no, it's a diversion. And they said that obstruction was number one on the agenda. When they came in now, their chairman, then Oyegu, said that instruction is not their priority. It's now corruption. The consistency and the line of APC is clear throughout their career. In their statement, in their word, you can't rely on none of them. No person of integrity among them, from their president downwards. They don't keep to their word. They don't understand what is a gentleman's agreement. So they are reaping the question of inconsistency and disloyalty among themselves.
Okay, I wanted to ask you why you think that Akande is making all of these claims at this point. A few people have disputed many of his claims. Can you hazard a guess why he is rewriting history?
Let me get this straight.
If I could paraphrase you.
Why what?
Why he is rewriting history at this point.
I didn't get that question.
I was asking why do you think at this point that a lot of people are saying, including yourself, that Chief Akonde's claims are false? And why do you think that he is rewriting history at this particular point, if I were to paraphrase you?
Thank you very much. Is the April string of Tinubu now? Is the April string of Tinubu, is that playing up to Tinubu to show that he's the only champion? They knew all the agreement they have before. And when they see now that Buhari is trying to renege on them, he's trying to say, I'm the only one who's championing your cause. They knew all the evil that they are doing, but Buhari let them down. That is why even claiming to be a partner in the government, they don't know what is going on, and now they are now disputing the terms of the agreement. That shows you how genuine, how sincere their cooperation was from the army issue. There's no sincerity there. When the partners in the government are now saying, no, this is not what we agree with, and you carry on for 5 years, up till now, you have not broken out. If you know that's not the agreement, why do you still keep there? When all the evils are being done to the people of the Southwest, they were killing us, they are raping and doing all that. There was not a word from APC, not a word from Tinubu, not a word from Akode. All the kidnapping in the West, the killing and the absorbing and the raping, only we are very were talking about it. Tinubu kept mum and APC kept mum, and they claimed to be the leaders of Yoruba land. They invaded Igbo's house without any cause, shouting for the nation satisfactory constitution. That if you are going to give us a cheating constitution, we are going to get out. Instead of discussing that, going along that, the man unlawfully invaded his house midnight under a constitutional democracy, killed people there, destroyed his property, and again the took them to court. The court of competent jurisdiction said this man has not committed any offense. You should release him and compensate him for all the property you have done. The man who claimed to be a born-again Democrat, he does not obey the court order. I wish your court order has obeyed. I don't want to talk about Buhari government and when you talk of Buhari government, of course, Buhari government and Akode and Tinubu government, about the disaster they brought to Nigeria, to Yoruba land. The unfortunate is that they are still shameless to be saying that they are speaking for Yoruba race.
Okay.
So there's no other reason than the fact that they want to play up. And then Buhari has promised, they claim he has promised them, he made Tinubu the president after he has left. Notwithstanding all the gadgets around him. I asked Tinubu himself, you said this man will you the president, and he's supporting the vice president against you, supporting Fayemi, supporting Amosu. All the people in your party putting them against you. And all the key positions in the coalition are held in it, particularly the security architecture, in a cooperation, in a partnership. The police, the army, the navy, the custom, the DSS, all in the section of the country, in his village, and you are a partner in that government. And with that now, they are doing a lot of havoc for your people. You kept bomb and say you are the leader. Anyway, it is Odudua that is splitting them now. They are fighting against themselves, not me. But God is a God of justice. Odudua is a God of justice. He will give it them all. They will tear themselves to pieces, and I will be looking on.
Okay, sir.
The language they are using now, that's the language of people who came together in good faith. So the only thing now is to play up to Tinubu, who is now Tinubu is his benefactor. For the house he built for him in his place. By the time I reply, you say that. He's asking me, when I give the details of my own now, I will ask him to give the details of how he built the house in Ila. And all the properties he has in Lagos and abroad, he should tell us the source. And that was after he left governorship, when he was the acting chairman of ACN. After he became the apron string of Tinubu, the fact will show itself. By the time we put all the facts out, he has asked me that they gave me the source. When I gave my own source, and I asked them to verify it by EFCC, that he should give his own, and we leave it to the public to judge.
Okay, sir. Let's move on.
I've been in politics when I don't know where he was, but for the Bola who brought him into limelight.
Let's move on, sir. Let's just go back to the book. One of the things outside the book that have been said, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu took Yoruba into the mainstream of politics. That is, they are the center instead of playing the opposition game. And all that, of course, went into the formation of the APC when ACN, which he was a leader, became one of the legacy parties that formed the current All Progressive Congress. Now, the emergence of a Yoruba man as the vice president, not too long after a Yoruba man served for 8 years as president of this country, they can take credit for that. Now, what do you think about the emergence of Yemi Osinbajo as the vice president? Is that not a plus to the Yoruba nation, which you can give Tinubu credit for?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that question. That is the question they will not answer when there's an election. I'm afraid and I'm ashamed that Tinubu is still claiming to have taken the Yoruba to the center. The question is, I ask him, what has he brought to Yoruba land? Except giving appointment to his cronies. What advantage has Osinbajo has been the vice president? What role has he been playing other than the role of a market master? Is that the way VPI is treated in a partnership, in a coalition? They just went there to sell the Yoruba race. They have sold out. I challenge them to mention what advantage they have brought to the Yoruba people, the citizens, besides giving appointment to their cronies there. I am saying it was a disaster. What would the average Yoruba man claim to have gained by Tinubu dragging them to Buhari? And I've said it that the problem of operating this unfortunate constitution, it was people who dragged us to it. All the problem of this administration that we are fighting now, state police, local government, the question of revenue allocation, we have all got over it during the First Republic. And they were all contained in the Constitution of the First Republic until the military cancel this Constitution and bring this fraudulent one. And this fraudulent Constitution that Tinubu is emphasizing, a Constitution that with all the proceeds of Lagos State were taken to Abuja and give Lagos State a poultry. That is the question of the VAT. He fought that question halfway and gave up. All because he wanted to be president. Even your VP who is there is now referring to Joseph Babalaki did them well. Under one system was he fighting for the local government revenue to be brought to Lagos. Is it not under a federal system? Is it not under the question of restructuring? These are all people who sold out, have been dragged to the federal government under the false promise that they make him the president. He's now telling us Muslim together is not the problem. It's not the fault to come and teach us how the Yorubas react. It's going to, with Obasanjo, with the Buhari, it's a disaster. And it should go, when next we have a free and fair election, when they do impose candidates, you will see his picture. I challenge him, and I'm asking you, ask them, let them tell us what advantage they have brought to Yoruba land. Even to Nigeria. Even the Northerners are shouting now. They are regretting. And he said the Northern element and the monarchs didn't like Buhari. Are they not vindicated? When the Sultan is now shouting, oh, what about the security? When there is no security in the country, what progress can you make? How do you expect any investor to come in when the investment is not safe? That is the performance of the man always opening his mouth wide to join a disastrous government. Somebody will be ashamed to say that he was one of those who put evil regime of Buhari into government. What can he say of this government that he will be proud of? Before this government came in, we know how much our naira is. Before this government came in, we know the position of our education, our health. Is it the road that we cannot go now? Even to the shame, nobody can travel from Kaduna to the capital city without being afraid whether they will be clamped under this government. And that's the government, a man like Akode, who claimed to be an extract of our party, is proud of. Instead of covering his face in shame, that I'm sorry, as those who supported Buhari initially are apologizing to the country now. Obasanjo was one of those who supported Buhari.
Okay,
Pendulum is one of those all those who supported Buhari initially. Are they not regretting? Your naira is falling daily, daily, daily. Security is worsening daily. There is no day in the country today nobody is not killed, raped, particularly in the domain of the president. A government that's headed by a former general, a general of the army, now negotiating with bandits. He can't control them. A section of the country is being taken over. The governor of Niger claimed that no local government has been taken over. He opened up the up till now, we have not heard that those local government have been gained.
Okay, Adebanjo.
What can you tell me? No, you asked me that they have done anything good.
Okay, Adebanjo.
What power have they given the vice president?
Thank you so much, Adebanjo. Let's go back to the book.
It's not applause at all.
Okay, let's go back to the book. He talked about the death of Chief Bola Ige. I'd like to know, in your own thoughts, what that death cost for the 1, Yoruba people, 2, Afenifere, 3, the furtherance of the AD, as it was then, Alliance for Democracy.
There is no doubt that we put the blame on the government of the day, where the chief security officer of the day with 6 security officers surrounding him, assassinated and killed. And by the way, let me tell you, let Akode search his conscience. Now that he's now thinking of who might have done it. Out of spite at that time, he was accusing the leaders of Afenifere to be responsible for their death. Everybody, even on the day that Bola was buried, through the inspiration of what he told some of the friends of Bola Ige, they said some people are dancing at the grave of Bola Ige, referring to us, like myself, Papa Desoya, Lenu Ajayi, and Daudu. And we are telling, instead of looking inwards, look at what is happening. Out of spite to disgrace us. Now the truth is coming out. Now say, well, afterwards, now, he wants that to play up now. He now knows where it is. There is no doubt that Obasanjo as a government cannot claim innocence about the death of Bola Ige. That nobody is disputing that. And as far as we are concerned, he has a lot of questions to answer on that line.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand, and I call it at that time, how the chief security officer of the state, with 6 security people guiding him every time, leaving his house at the time the assassins came, said they went to go and eat. And then you begin to look over. And at that period, to be candid, a lot of questionable death happened during the regime of Obasanjo. I don't want to come in when Akode is government is about to report. On that score, I think there is a point for Obasanjo's government to answer.
Gbàgede Ìmọ̀ òun ni kẹ́ ẹ máa gbọ́. Orúkọ mi kí n tó máa lọ ní orí ètò yìí, orúkọ mi ni Àyẹ́tóyọ̀sí Ṣaworo nílùú gbàgede ìmọ̀ òun ni kẹ́ ẹ máa wò kẹ́ ẹ máa gbọ́ ó ń kọ́ yẹn lọ́gbọ́n ó ń fún yẹn lóye